What's up, everybody? Back here again, episode 43 of the Pitside Podcast. I'm Preston Cranmer here with my good friend Roger Craig. So we're going to sit down and we're going to talk to one of our senior admins, Joe Halter, this week, and then we'll finish things off with another edition of Connor's Corner. Stay tuned.
Welcome to the Pitside Podcast, where we discuss the latest news and developments in the Coast to Coast Racing League, as well as other racing news inside and out of iRacing. Here's your host, the A-Let Outlaw, Preston Cranmer, and Roger, the Bassman, Craig.
Yeah, so we're back here again. Like I said, it's going to be a great episode. We've got a couple of good guests. Connor, you've seen him here before, and really, I think it's going to be some of our first time to sit down and have a conversation with Joe Halter. So I think that'll be a lot of fun.
Earl G. Wilson.
Yes. Yeah, there's going to be a few guys. We won't get into why, because frankly I don't totally know why, but I know a few guys have communicated with him and still refer to him as Earl due to his name on Facebook. So maybe we'll get that story too. I'm going to go ahead and apologize. I'm already starting to glisten. It's pretty hot in the shed. It's still 92 degrees, like regular temperature, and the heat index is hotter. So I'm going to be a little sweaty this week.
I think it's 72 here right now, and not outside, but where I'm sitting. So I'm a lot more comfortable than you are, buddy.
Yeah, I may have moved out to the shed a little bit earlier than I should have. I was in the spring and everything seemed real good, but there's been a few hot ones now where I've been regretting it a little bit. But we should have heat and AC in here not before too long.
Well, you need to get Andy Piercefield to get an air conditioning unit delivered up to that shed,
Yeah, I tried that. He was pretty set that he was only in the Atlanta area, but I tried.
Well, it's worth a try, eh? So
yeah.
Anyways, So we're coming up the Brody Sim. By the time this is on Sunday morning, when this is released, it's right on the verge. The deadline's coming up for as you're watching this, the deadline is coming up for the early bird. So it's $10 and $15 for the one or two divisions today. After midnight, it is $15 and $20, and it's filling up fast. So you don't want to delay. But hey, this thing's got wheels. It's really been picking up in the last week, and this is going to be a great one.
Yeah, and I put out the I guess it was probably about a week ago from when you guys are watching this that we put the shirts out, made those available. And still like to sell some more, but I've been really encouraged. Like, we've been getting a ton of support, and as much as I want to sell them to guys in the league, please feel free to go in there and grab yourself one. But we've seen lots of people buying them out from Oregon and Washington State.
Yep.
A couple of, I think, a Utah, which may have been associated with the league. I'm not sure, but there's definitely just some Brody Sim fans. So it's nice to me to see that we've made a connection outside of our own little iRacing community and Steve King Foundation, who they know who we are, but now we're seeing some of their fans or Brody's fans at least what we're able to do and participate with us.
Well, what I've really been encouraged is how engaged like Ed Sim and Brody have been, as well as Steve King Foundation. Their heads down right now with their cornhole tournament out in the Knoxville Nationals, and they've taken time to share our stuff out, and that's really been encouraging. And Ed's been great, and sharing stuff out and everything else. And I think Brody's really excited about this event, so it's all cool, man. That's for sure.
Yeah, and I think we kind of saw that some when we talked to him. We got that sense that Ed's just a good dude, and I think we knew going in that Brody was an inspiration to a lot of people, but you kind of see where he gets it from now. Their whole family is they're just on board, so it's really cool.
There's going to be a whole pile of Brody T-shirts out there, that's for sure.
That's true.
Encouraging. And for don't forget that if you haven't joined already, sign up. And again, anybody watching this is not part of the league, feel free to donate. Just go to c2crl.com and click on there should be a pop-up there that comes up for you. It'll take you to the Brody Sim page, or just on the menu, it's Never Give Up. Click on that. That'll take you there. And there's a button there where you can go and donate. and every dollar helps. And like I said the other day on my Hometown Heroes little blurb, it gets further complicated by the whole insurance stuff, because the ambulance and I think the first hospital they went to reported as a car accident, and that's led to a nightmare of red tape of trying to get through on that stuff. So, and this is where the Steve King Foundation really comes in, is they're that tweener, before, when from the time of an accident until some money starts showing up, that they're there to make bridge that gap. So kudos to the Steve King Foundation. They're a class act to work with, and we're honored to be associated with them. That's for sure. Yeah. So the other thing too, Preston, is I just want to remind the guys that have signed up. Once you sign up, we've got a bit of a process. So there's two buttons there. One is to donate, and then one is to register. A lot of guys registered without donating, so I reach out to them, say, like, you got to donate first. It's not like a freebie. And the other thing is too, though, the ones that have paid and registered, then we have a special league, the Brody Sim League, where all those races will be hosted. Guys need to get in that league. So once I've validated you've made a donation, I invite you to the league, and a lot of guys haven't accepted yet. So you need to accept that, or there'll be all sorts of scrambling on Tuesday night for the first race. So should be good. So it's 4 events. Let's just go over it a little bit. There's 4 events here. Tuesday night is the first qualifier, and we'll be taking 8 from that. The top 8 will automatically start. We'll talk about where they start in a minute, and then Wednesday night, normally is Hometown Heroes. It's Brody Sim night. That'll be the second qualifier, and we'll take 8 from that. And then Thursday night is the LCQ. We'll take 8 from there as well. So then what we will do after that is the top 4 from Monday night and Tuesday night. So the 8 will go in for a pill draw, and we'll have that probably after the podcast. So we'll have because everything will be pre-gridded, and anyways,
so it's the top 4 from the first 2 races. Is that what you said?
Yeah, okay. Yeah. So the top 4 from Tuesday night, top 4 from Wednesday night, they'll go in for a pill draw, and I don't know if we'll do that live, but it'll be on random.org, so everybody knows it's legit. And then the final race, all the qualifiers will be 30 laps. Caution laps don't count. And then on the final night, Monday night, it'll just be it's a pre-grid. Everybody's pre-gridded. We'll have a couple of extras. So on the LCQ, whoever finished like 9th and 10th will be kind of on standby if somebody doesn't show up. So those races, and it could change, but right now the plan is 50 laps for the 305s and 75 laps for the prolates. And those will be caution laps, don't count. I know the prolate might run a little bit longer, but we want to give guys an opportunity to get a quick repair in if they need it without losing a lap. So, that's the plan right now, but it should all be good.
And those distances are just for the championship race, correct?
Yeah, all the other ones will be 30.
Okay.
So and we'll be doing different tracks each night. So Tuesday night, the first night will be at Knoxville, and then the second night will be Lernerville, and then we'll go to Eldora, and we'll finish the championship. Will be at Volusia. So 4 great tracks, and I can't wait. I think it's going to be one of our best events ever. And the 305 stuff, like on Hometown Heroes, it's just been crazy, like 40, 45 entries. So I think that should be a well-contested, when they're fixed, but geez, the cream still rises to the top all the time, and the skilled drivers do show their skill. So I'm excited about this. It's going to be great, and there's quite a few guys from outside the league signing up as well, so that's always encouraging. And a lot of times after this is over, they'll join our league because they like what they see.
So how many guys are going to, or how many slots is each session limited to? Is it 40, 60?
No, 60. So 60. It's 60 entries in each. But, don't wait, because what's happening is almost 100% of the guys are signing up for both. So, it's not like we're going to have like 90 guys signing up, and one will do 305, one will do prolates. everybody's signing up for both. So those spots will be filled, pretty quick. So if you still haven't signed up yet, don't wait. It's going to be a great event. Lots of prizes. We didn't talk about that, but there'll be a trophy for each one from A&J Custom Creations. Andy Patton has always been our stand-up guy to support these things. And then there'll be you'll have your choice of iRacing credits or Amazon gift card, or you can donate it back to Brody. No judgment on any of that, but it'll be your choice. And for the races, it'll be for those finals, it'll be 25, 15, and 10 will go to the top three. And then there'll be door prizes. So even if you're a driver like me that doesn't have a prayer of winning this thing or get that, there's lots of door prizes, and there's at least four $25 gift certificates, and then there's wraps from all the different wrap companies, yours included. We've had 6 different wrap companies fully support this thing. I know Victory has been getting the logo, and they always have interesting wraps for the event. So, but as well as donating, so it's going to be great. Also, you've got that wrap that you're putting out there. Is that going to be on Trading Paints? Is that how you're going to distribute that?
Yeah, that's the easiest way that I found for these one-off events. So I believe right now there is a Brody Sim. Now I'm going to be adding a spec map to it. If you see his car, the dark gray is actually kind of a matte metallic. So that hasn't been added yet. But right now there is a Brody Sim template. It looks just like his 305 sprint car. With no numbers on it. So you can run that now if you want with your numbers on it. You can use that for the event. There will also be one that I'll put out there if you want to do, for whatever reason, with the number 22 on it, which is what he ran as well. So it'll have the custom numbers that look just like his, and so that'll be made available too. Now, is that something that we're letting go for the thing if they want to run 22? Or
just to clarify, 22 might be on the roof, but it won't be on the side panels, right?
No, I have 2 out there. That's what I was saying. 22 will be on the roof of all of them. There's one out there that if you want to run the custom number 22, you can. Whether it's if you can't do it in our league, if you want to run in officials or how.
Oh yeah, The only thing I'm afraid of is we'll get a few guys coming in with that on, and we'll have 8 cars that are all 22 identical.
Okay. So, well, then y'all heard it here. You still have to run your number in the event.
Yeah, you have to run your number, but. And I don't know if that 22 will come through on the top wing then, or if it'll be stamped over.
Yeah, no, it will. It's part of the base wrap.
Okay. And it won't be over-stamped with the other number?
No, on the top wing? That's not a number position
right. I'm sorry.
By default.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, so that's cool. So, and is there a name on that template that they could look for? Search for, just search for
you should be able to search for Preston Cranmer. I believe you could probably search for Brody Sim too. But what I'll do is I'll put a link. I can link it out and put it in the lounge so you guys can find it there as well.
Awesome. That's awesome, man. So yeah, can't wait. It's gonna be awesome.
Yeah, there's a lot of family engagement going on. It's just it's ramping up to be a special one for sure.
And I'll mention it here too because I did talk to Ed. Brody has been on iRacing a bit, and I said, could he race in this? Because Brody did sign up, but Ed's answer at this time was, depends what day it is. You said 3 or 4 days ago he could have, but today no. So we want to cut this kid a lot of slack because he's got a lot of healing to do. But it would be great it's great he even just signed up. I mean, that's just cool.
Yeah.
So we can't wish Brody enough, good wishes and everything else, and to the whole family, that's for sure. So we should move on maybe. Is there anything else you've got to cover on that?
No, I just, like I said, make sure if you don't know where the link for the shirt is and you want one, you can message me or Roger. It's on the league page, or on the league Facebook page, and it should be on the website too, right?
Yep, it is. It's on the website. It's on that Brody page. And all profits from that, not all proceeds. I mean, there's a lot of cost in the background here, but all profits from that, and it's getting to be a significant number. That goes to, it goes to the Steve King Foundation.
I think it's going to be a really great event.
Oh yeah, for sure. Totally excited. maybe we move on to talk about some other things. IL, for example, incidents per lap. So I think the good news here is that it's getting better. I've been looking over the numbers from Monday night, and numbers are coming down. And I think next season what we'll do is we'll make sure that we start at some of the friendlier tracks, we'll call it, so that everybody gets a good start. I think this has been our most difficult season with IL and guys not being able to transfer. But I think it's been our most educational, for lack of a better word. I think people are finally getting that I've got to drive cleaner if I want to go up. I mean, I'm in that boat too. I'm usually in that boat every season. But, you got to get those numbers down. And I think more and more people are cognizant of, I'm at that edge. I need to just be careful, who I pass, when I pass, pick my moments, risk versus reward, right? And people are finding out there's more risk than reward in some of these situations. So
yeah, and I think one thing guys are still forgetting a little bit, and I will tell you that I'm guilty is the later you get in the season, if you maintain a .230, which is what I'm at right now, throughout the whole season, by the end of the season, it's much, much harder to get it back down because you've averaged a whole lot more laps in. So when you're at a 2.30 or a .230 2 weeks in, it's not too big a deal. 8 weeks in, you got work to do, and you got to do it quick. So it's going to be imperative for a lot of guys, myself included, that we run clean, for the remainder of the season. And if that means you have to sacrifice a few spots to stay in your division, that's just what it means.
Well, and I'll mention it. Pepiet, he asked for some EOLs because his was up pretty high. He wants to get into Renegades, and it was a smart thing. He's running around and picking his spots when to pass. He's still competitive, but his numbers are coming down dramatically. So it's all that's all good. So next season will be better, I think.
Yeah.
This has been a bit of a difficult season for everybody, but it's working. And looking at the numbers, everybody's coming down. It's just, are they down enough to move up a division, or if they down enough to stay in the same division? Because some guys may move down another division.
Yep.
It's it's a hard lesson. So, but it seems to work. And then along with that, like we mentioned before, incidents have been dropped to 12 for a race. So that's really your feature. It's not like the whole night. But that's an immediate. We've got the heat EOLs and feature EOLs, but that's like immediate disqualification. iRacing does it. Has nothing to do with us. You get up to 12 incidents. Like that's it's 4 incidents for a full-blown accident. You've been in 3 full-blown accidents in a feature. Like, you can't say they're always somebody else's fault.
Yeah.
It's just and it's not unlike the real world. You got wrecked out. That happens.
Yeah, and even if it's little bumps, you can't get out there and be, or not, at least what we're doing, in sprint cars, you're not putting your wheels, you're not tangling wheels 12 times with somebody before you wreck. If you do it once, maybe you get away with it, and the second time you're done.
Yeah, and I'm gonna get on my little soapbox here about the guys during pace laps and the opening pace laps before the race starts. Can't be weaving all over the place and hitting guys. Like it's, I got hit the other day because some guy was weaving around like an idiot, and almost spun his car out, and then trying to recover, he runs into me, and there's 2 incident points. And I'm struggling. I'm one of the ones struggling to keep it down. It's pretty upsetting. So, 12 incidents. It doesn't take long to add those up. So, I think that's going to help out too. It's going to be it's going to be hurtful at times, but it is what it is. So how about new drivers?
Yeah, so we've got a handful of new drivers this week, so we want to welcome them to the league just like we do every week. So I'm told, and I'm now seeing that we've got some challenging names. So again, I'll apologize in advance. I'm already sweating, and now I'm really sweating. So we got number 144, John Kuntz. 337, Paul Thompson, like that one. 039, Mason, we'll call it Hine. 252 of Curtis Klinger, the 610 of Liam Garrison, and the 169 of Chase Wolf. So to the few of you guys that have more unusual names, I apologize. But welcome to the league either way, and I'm sure our broadcasters will do a much better job than I just did.
Yeah. So welcome, guys. It's great seeing the new guys on the track, and some of these guys are fast. And one to be noted, maybe he'll be on next week's welcome list. I'm not sure. Was Randy Shreve's son? I think it's Dylan. And I guess all Dylans are fast because he was fast right out of the gate. I went back and checked his iRating because I thought maybe Bill missed something, but no, he's within the within the range. I think it was 2,300 or something. But this kid's a hot shoot. So we've had a lot of guys this season come in that pro late models, and this Blaine Brink that showed up. I've already put him up in the Rebels because he needs to be there. He was run the first night he came out. He went from the Raiders to the Rebels to the Renegades and was in P1 for the feature when he hit the wall right off the bat. I can't remember what happened.
That's right. So that I meant to ask that the week that happened, and maybe that may have been a week we didn't have the podcast. Have we had someone pull the sweep before? I'm not sure that we ever had.
I think we did. Somebody did pull the sweep, I think. Maybe not. Maybe it was just that they made it to Renegades and made a good run. Yeah, we'll have to check. We need a statistician, one of those guys in the back room that always knows the answer to everything. But maybe there was somebody. There's a couple guys, though, that ran that ladder, at least made it to Renegades.
I know we've had them close. I'm not sure that Blaine wasn't maybe one of the closest, because I think he finished third that night, and maybe.
No, I don't think. No, he hit the wall and he was done, I think, or something like that.
Well, nonetheless, he was marching that way.
He was marching, man. Oh yeah, big time. So speaking about marching, I got the DWR hat on. I got all the paraphernalia and all that stuff. But we got a big things happening. So the Dylan Westbrook Racing, part of the Hills Racing team, and I'm his number one fan for sure. But he's home. So there was a break in the season after Knoxville. He was planning on coming home anyways, but the first race back in 2 weeks at Indianapolis was canceled. So now he's home for like 10 days. So we've been talking a lot with Dylan lately. The big news out just today is that Dylan's going to run at Merrittville tomorrow night. So this will be my first race out. It'll be sort of making up for not getting to Knoxville, I guess. Yeah. He'll be going down with his grandparents, and it'll be just great to get back in the stands. But he got contacted by Glenn Stiers, the owner of West Weekend. Do you want to drive my car? Because Glenn's down at the Knoxville Nationals this weekend.
Right.
And so Dylan went yesterday to get a fitting, make sure he could fit in the seat, and all went well. And so he's going to be at Merrittville driving Glenn's car. So there's a lot of excitement up here in Canada, especially in this area for this. Jordan Poirier. So that's the nephew of Steve Poirier. Steve is just an incredible runner out of Quebec. He retired. And Steve, I think, the Poirier now is his nephew, but he's the Knights of Thunder, which is the 360 series. I think he's won every race. So showdown time now. He didn't win every race. Another one of the young guns beat him the other night, but it should be good. It's just going to be great seeing Dylan back in the seat up here. And but along with that, we've been talking a lot with Dylan. He's always been a great supporter of our league. He did the Mike Westbrook Memorial. He threw out there $150 for prize money for that, and so no better time than now, I guess, to make the big announcement, Preston?
Yeah, let's go for it, man. So I do want to ask before we get there. I had questions. So you're going to the race tomorrow night, right? You'll actually be there. You're going down in the pits. You got to go wrench on the car or something.
I got to try something. Yeah. So Steve Goldner's already contacted me. He says, if you're down in the pits, come by. And because he's always wrenching on cars down there, and he's with Sean Evans, so I'll be hunting him down. And I don't know if Beagle will be down there. I haven't checked the whole, just the 360s there. I'm going, but I love the Thunder stocks, and hopefully Beagle will be down there. I haven't seen a big dog for a little while, so it'd be nice to chat up with him and a bunch of the others, Holly Porter and a bunch of the Oshawegan crowd for sure.
And is it on GeForce TV?
Yeah, it's on GeForce TV, so everybody out there can catch it. By the time you see this podcast, it's too late. But we'll put a post out again. We'll put a post out to make sure that everybody in the league is aware. GeForce has just been knocking it out of the park this year. Like, if you haven't seen a broadcast, they're killing it, man. It's just they've got the hovercraft thing, and they got all sorts of multi-camera views, and it's better than. Well, I don't want other TVs and broadcasts, but they're doing better than the ones that charge money, and they do it for it's free. It's all free streaming, so check it out, man. It's going to be some great racing, that's for sure.
So this big announcement.
Let's get back to that.
We teased it, right? So you guys saw a picture probably last weekend of, and I've actually seen a few now because we had guys that went down in the pits and saw Dylan, but. If you saw the picture, there was a big Pitside Podcast logo right on the side wing of Dylan's car, which we rush shipped him. We got him overnighted out there so they'd meet him at the Sprint Car Hall of Fame when he pulled in. And Dylan was, I mean, you can talk about the details, but he was great. He was all about it. Slapped it right on the car for us.
Well, and I said, would you run our logo? So the Coast to Coast Racing League will be on that car too. And I said, it doesn't have to be at a big obvious spot. We just appreciate if you just put it somewhere. Well, it's right on the wing. Like when you're standing, all those pictures that guys get taken, there it is, Pitside Podcast, and Coast to Coast Racing League will be there shortly after. So Dylan's just been great helping us out. So we have formed a partnership with DWR, and here to announce right now that next season the Renegades are the best of the best. Will be the Dylan Westbrook Racing Division. So it'll be sponsored by Dylan and DWR. So we are couldn't be happier. Just pumped about this, and it's a great association. Just Dylan's a great ambassador for our country, for all of racing. Certainly a great ambassador for the Westbrook family. He's just a class act wherever he goes, and we're really proud to be associated with him. And also, the store is coming. The speed shop. And we'll have all his apparel and his koozies and all that sort of stuff. So we'll be carrying all that on our speed shop in the store. So we're really excited about all of that, and it's a great marriage. That's
and
for sure.
I'm going to assume that either that shirt or that hat was supposed to be sent to me. Or mine's still in the mail.
It's maybe in the mail or something. Yeah, we'll have to see what's going on there. And there's more to announce that I can't announce right now, but maybe we'll be able to get together and see him somewhere along the line or something. That's all I can say.
There you go.
So it's good. But we're really excited about this. It's just been Dylan's been a great inspiration. I mean, that's the reason the league's here. He's the guy that got me hooked on dirt racing. Just the first time I saw the kid running, and so he's contributed a lot to the league, and in many ways, financially as well. So welcome aboard, Dylan and Dan and Grandma and Grandpa and everybody else in the family. It's a pretty tight family. They're awesome people. So privileged to know those people. But so it's we're already starting to announce stuff coming in the new year. We got lots in the works here, and more announcements coming for sure. And it's getting to be a busy time for you and I, that's for sure.
It sure is. Well, I tell you what, enough screwing around. Let's get over here. We're going to talk to Joe Halter. After we talk to Joe, though, don't forget, stick around. We got another edition of Connor's Corner. A little different format this week, but you guys will enjoy both of these, so we're going to go talk to Joe right now.
Yeah. So we're here with, depending on who you are, Earl Wilson or Joe Halter. How are you doing, buddy?
I'm doing super well, man. Glad to be on the Pitside Podcast for sure.
So what is that going on behind you on the screen? Tell us about that.
So, as you guys probably know, I had a rig built by ICON, right? And this
I'm talking about on the TV screen.
Yeah, I'm getting there. So
okay,
this rig is a piece of art. And I told Rob Neller, you build a rig and I'll build a room around that rig. Well, So my room is kind of in construction mode. So I put all C2C races on a big screen TV that I could stream from my cockpit, and I can watch the team guys run. And, you know, I almost enjoy that more than running myself.
Okay,
so you guys are...
What's happening behind you right now? Where are they at?
So it looks like it's Thursday Night Thunder, and it looks like the mods are running at Charlotte, and they are closing in. It should be... it just ended, actually.
But, okay, so we'll find out who the winner is, even though everybody will know by Sunday.
Yeah, right.
And you were pulling for a teammate there, I think, right?
Oh man, let me tell you, Brandon Templeton. So, as you guys also know, I kind of got put in. I could put together a dirt team, and I took that task pretty serious, right? And I kind of used the same method that I used in the military. That I hire character over experience any day of the week, right? So it took me a hell of a long time to find the right drivers, and we don't have a lot. But the guys that are driving Brandon Templeton, Brian Dickens, and Kurt Schatzer, high character individuals. Super good dudes. So it's a lot of fun. I like following those guys. I offer some bonuses for certain things that they do on the track. And it's just a lot of fun. Our Discord is every day. We communicate daily. Just a great group of guys. I'm really enjoying it.
That's awesome, man. And we're really enjoying the job you're doing for us, doing all the adminning. You really stepped up and, just unbelievable. You do a great job. Can't say enough about it.
Yeah, I appreciate it. Like the character deal, this is a quality operation you guys got going on. I just want to be a part of it, and that's why I volunteered.
Well, and, we've said many times, Preston and I, that we're just the talking heads. It's people like you behind the scenes, and you know this is true, Joe. It's all those people behind the scenes that are making this league what it is. Can't say enough about all the guys that step up and help us out, that's for sure.
Oh, yeah. We've run other leagues, and we've pretty much dropped out of all of them except for Coast to Coast. And even Brandon last week in his interview talked about Coast to Coast and how welcome we feel as a team. And, yeah, high quality folks.
Yeah. It's and it's great. It's a community, but it's a community that makes it strong, for sure. So let's go back a little bit. Were you a Marine?
I was in the Air Force.
In the Air Force. Oh, another Air Force guy. All those go fast guys. They go fast.
That's right.
In the military, and they go fast when they get out. So tell us a little bit about your career, man.
So I joined the military right here in Northern California, about an hour north of Sacramento. As we were talking pre-show, it was 106 yesterday, 104 today.
Yeah,
so I joined.
Let's just stop there for a second, because Preston is whining and complaining it's 102, and he had to go get a drink, and you're 106.
He's inside.
He's smarter than you. Anyway.
That wasn't on the table for the debate here.
Okay, so I'm sorry, Joe.
No worries. So I joined the Air Force in 1986, right here in California, and I was never stationed anywhere that it didn't snow knee deep. I spent 8 years in Missouri, 2 years in Delaware, 8 years in Europe, in Germany, absolutely wonderful, and 5 years in Montana. And I actually retired from Germany, and I was born and raised here, so packed up the family and said, hey, we're going to California. My wife, being from Ohio, Indiana, didn't go over super well, but everything played out. Everything played out good.
So, Preston was away. You're north of Sacramento, right?
About an hour, yep.
Yeah, so he's an hour north of Sacramento. And I was explaining to Joe that didn't know if he realized or not, but the southernmost point of Canada, Point Pelee, is actually further south than Sacramento. So Joe's like an honorary Canadian,
That's pretty wild. That's hard to imagine. I'm going to have to look at a map.
Go look at a map at the longitude or latitude or whatever the heck that is. But it's just like, Joe Backus lives 30 miles further north than me and Bill and Gary and that.
And it shows. It shows.
Yeah. So I'm sorry, we're getting off topic like we normally do, but so
What we're here for.
how many years? How many years total in the military, Joe?
22 years, 7 months, 19 days.
Hours and minutes?
Don't know those. You know, and I've never had so when you get in the military, you'll meet two kind of people. Those who never had a good assignment and those who never had a bad. And my military career was absolutely fascinating. Had some awesome jobs, spent a lot of time in the desert, all over the place. And it was just absolutely fabulous.
What was your main role? Like what have you done?
So usually when we tell people this, right, the Air Force is just like a regular municipality. I was a high voltage lineman, so I climbed poles and worked on high voltage stuff for a good number of years. Became an instructor, and then I finally, my last 5 years as a first sergeant, which is, they do a lot of different things, take care of folks. It's 100% people-focused job, and that's what I did my last 5 years. And just blessed, man. It was just super, super, super cool.
You know, and to parallel that, I know Andy Patton and Daniel Blau are just two guys. Loved every minute that they had in the military. That, you know, it's just you hear that from a lot of guys, and I'm just wondering, you know, you and those guys need to talk to see if you cross paths somewhere along that line.
It happens, let me tell you.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, absolutely. Very small world.
Yep. Of course, you know, if they're looking on Facebook, they'll only see Earl G. Wilson. So I'm not even going to ask.
that secret government guy.
Yeah.
So then, when I retired, right, I was a lineman, and I actually tried to do that as a civilian, and I got hired on. But man, I tell you, the back hurts, the knees hurt. That's a young man's game. So I finished up my MBA and started writing construction contracts for the government, for the Air Force. So kind of mixed two worlds into one, doing contracts with some craftsman knowledge and PM knowledge. And now I recently moved to the National Park Service, which I didn't even know there were jobs out there like this. I work from home. I go to the national parks and do site visits, and I fly out of Sacramento, and I'm just at home, and it is, again, absolutely fabulous.
That sounds like a tough gig, buddy. That's good for you.
It is absolutely wonderful.
Yeah, that's awesome, man. So, first of all, I can't, you know, I haven't said it yet, but thank you for your service. You know, we really appreciate everything. Even though I'm north of the border, I still appreciate everything that you've done, and you know, and like to see you out there in that Veterans League. You know, that's you've been out there with the boys and you know, shown well. So that's all good. But you got an ICON shirt on. Let's talk a little bit about ICON.
So. Yeah, I got hooked up with ICON a little bit more than a year ago, and I can't even tell you how it happened. I think I saw it probably on dirt racing or whatever, and being the shy guy I am, I just reached out to Rob personally and just started up a conversation. And man, I have never met a dude he is so artistic.
Yes.
His mind works like. It's just amazing. When him and I sat down to design this rig right here, he was just going, and he would take what I couldn't verbalize that I wanted, and next thing I know, it's not only there, but it's better. So ICON, he's a one-man show, builds stuff in his garage, just by himself, and what a deal. Him and I talk weekly and text. More often than not. So you couldn't get two different personalities and two different type of people, but what a super relationship, man. Just a super good guy. And
another guy that loves his job, right?
Oh, well, he hates he does not like his daytime job, but he loves the ICON side of it.
Yeah. So yeah, he's a class act, that's for sure.
Oh, absolutely.
So let's talk about, how did you find out about you know, our league, and you know, what's the background on that?
So once I got hooked up with ICON, I asked Rob, I said, hey, since I paid this money for this rig, instead of people coming to recruit me to drive for them, I recruited them. I'll pay if you let me run your brand on my car. Well, he built my first late model that had a G-Force sticker on it. And I said, hey, what's this G-Force all about? He said, well, that's a racing league that you need to check out, because I was by myself at that time. And that's how I got involved. And I will tell you, it was so welcoming, and it's not a first corner pileup every freaking race. It is some respect, right? Some give and take. It just seems to be much more mature than what we were doing. So I got through Rob into Coast to Coast.
That's awesome, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, I knew Brandon Templeton had come in that way too. I didn't realize you hadn't, but I know when you joined the league, it wasn't long after you. I think you volunteered to help out. You hadn't been in the league too long, and then you are still to this day the only admin that I've trained. We'll let other people decide if that's been a good thing or a bad thing, but yeah. So you and I have had a little bit more interaction, at least through that role, than I do with some of the other guys.
Yeah, no wonder I missed those EOLs.
No, don't blame me for that. Don't blame me for that. Yeah, that's fine. But you know what? That's the thing, and it's one thing I appreciated about your attitude about that. You didn't, you owned up to it right away. You just move on from it. That's the thing. Things are going to happen from time to time, and you just got to own it and keep running. And I know that may be kind of something you learn military-wise, but it's refreshing, because a lot of times you see guys are panicking, and you just kind of handle it. And I appreciated that quite a bit.
Awesome, man. Awesome. Yeah, I brought all the ICON guys, and I will tell you, all of them, Brandon, Brian, and Kurt, all said, no, I'm not ready to league race. And I told all three of them when I recruited them in, I said, you can race in this league. It's not like other places. Don't feel intimidated. And now all three of them are doing super well, and they love it. They talk about it all the time.
That's awesome, man.
Yeah.
So we can't let you go. We're letting you go now, but we got to get another view of that rig. We did see the rig on another episode with Rob, but is there any way that you can give us a tour of the rig with I don't know if you're using your laptop or whether you're using your phone?
Yeah. Right, this place is a mess, but so here's what happened. So I got this rig, and when I told you that I told Rob he does his part, I did mine, right? So I went out and bought 35-inch curved monitors. Well, the monitor mount was not big enough for 35-inch monitors, so I had to order some additional parts. So I used my old monitors, and I routed all the cable in cable tray and got it trough and got it back to the computer. The bars came in on Tuesday at, noon. I think I had it mounted at noon 30. And now the cables are too small, so I got cables stretched through the cockpit. But let me see here. Can you see it or no?
Oh, yeah.
Look at that thing.
Do you have something on the roof, too? Do you have a logo on the roof?
On the top?
Yeah.
Yeah.
What that is just super wicked, man.
And, Rob said he called it the Patriot, right? And I came up with an idea that this was going to be the first signature model. So I asked him, and he was kind of hesitant. So I got the Rob Neller signature first edition, and he signed the hood. And it's amazing, man. You climb in this thing, and it's freaking amazing. And the 35-inch monitors, it's unreal. It's unreal. I can't wait to get it done. I'm building a bar in here, and I've run into some other sim guys that do a lot of streaming. Going to have them over to the house, and I talked to you about the E-Nationals for the dwarf guys. Just a lot of good stuff going on.
That's awesome. That's totally awesome. So the one question I always ask, but before we go there, we were talking earlier today, and because tonight's Thursday night, you usually run. You said you weren't running tonight, and that's because you've jumped into the sprint division. So
I did, and let me tell you how that happened. So you guys run. I don't. Hold on one second. I don't know a spring from a cowboy boot, right? So I didn't know how to set up the car. I had no idea. Well, I got a hold of, or I found him on, YouTube or something. Thomas Brandon is this cat's name. And he put out free setups, right? So I ran a couple of the 360 free setups, and it was pretty good. And the guy was just like, you know, you can pay all this money, but you can do this for free. I find out the cat lives 20 minutes down the road from me. I actually talked to him today and said, hey, you need to come by the garage, have a beer, take the ICON rig. He actually does the Road to Pro program. He's from Sims, what is it? School of Sim Racing or something?
School of Sim Racing, yep.
Yeah, he's right down the road. And so we talked, and I said, man, you got to come over and sit in this thing and drive it. And so we'll see what happens. Yeah, it's just it's small world, man. So I think sprint cars, I'm going to spend a lot of time on my work break so I can come out here and run a few laps.
So something I always ask is, did you have any other questions, Preston, before we...
Not until we get to the main one. But I got a good one, as I always do.
Yeah. So my question is, what up to this point now, how long have you been iRacing?
I've been iRacing about a year and a half. And a matter of fact, this rig you see right here, I've been married for 34 years. And this rig was actually my wife's idea, and it was my 1-year iRacing anniversary present.
Wow.
So I think maybe she does that to get me out of the house so she can do her own thing. But however it works out, I'm happy.
That's
I've got to make sure Penny Lee watches this episode.
That's awesome, man. So, question I always ask everybody is your greatest iRacing memory.
You know what? Probably my greatest was the first night of adminning, right? It had to have been. What a intimidating thing that is when you're thinking, here I am, this guy that never been on a dirt track in real life, and you got 30 guys listening to you, and so it was exhilarating, and it was I loved it from day one. Of course, I had a decent teacher, so it all played out pretty well.
Well, you know, it's funny you say that because you know, you're talking about how you were kind of nervous, but we were all kind of behind the scenes saying, you know, Joe's doing a great job. I could have let him do this 2 weeks earlier. You know, you were very natural. So
it's fun, man.
Yes. Fun. So my question, I'll get to my question in a second, but I wanted to ask you before you started running the sprints, you were running the big blocks and the late models, or just late models?
Yeah, mainly late models. I've only ran big blocks with you guys, and the first one was the last Brody thing last year.
You mean Grady?
Grady.
Yeah, my apologies. That was the first time I ran the big block. Now, I run everything in practice, and I think probably midgets are the most fun in the world, but I would never go out and ruin somebody else's race. But I do in practice.
So I was going to ask you how you like the sprint cars over the late models. Do you find it's a drastic difference or a pretty easy transition?
Huge. It's like driving my 3,500 Ram pickup is what a late model is, and stepping into a sports car. And it's just a world of freaking difference.
Yeah.
Late models are more like a street stop than anything else.
That is true. So I went the other way. And went from sprint cars, and still occasionally will run late models. I do feel the difference, and I was curious to find if you had felt the same way going the other direction. But so my question is a little bit more, I guess, challenging, or at least could be a little bit more a problem creating. But who is your biggest rival in the Coast to Coast Racing League?
Oh, you know what? And it's from the first time at the fundraiser. Oh, 013 car.
That's Kyle Park.
No, not him. Gosh, darn it. 016.
Mike Schultz.
It's right on the tip of my tongue.
016 has been Kelch.
I got one. And matter of fact, I will let you know, I've never let this be known. We run into each other every freaking race we're in together. We run the exact same line, And I'm just a nicer guy, so I let him go by, right? I'm not going to cause a wreck. So Daniel Blau, boom.
There you go. Another Air Force guy.
Yeah, we're always running the same line, and I don't care. I could be racing at freaking Charlotte. He could be at Eldora, and he's going to run into me. We're going to run into each other somewhere. And not his fault, not my fault. We just must have a similar racing style.
That's that Air Force blood, buddy.
Well,
yeah, right.
I will give you some credit. You are one of the people that did not cop out on that question, because we get a lot of people that'll give some cop out answer. Usually they just, and I'm guilty of this, they just give a teammate, right? So they know they're not going to be mad at one another. But I appreciate that, and you were very candid. So thank you.
Yes, sir.
So where are we at there now? Is that have they qualified or?
Heat 1, lap 5.
There you go.
Well, then I tell you what, why don't we let Joe get back to watching the racing? I want to go watch it myself, so we're going to sign off here. We're going to go talk to Connor with Connor's Corner here, and we'll close out the show. We're going to thank Joe for coming on. It's been a great episode, guys, and we'll see you back here for episode 44 next week.
Thanks, Joe, for everything you
guys.
do, buddy. Thanks, man. You're awesome, buddy.
Absolutely. Let me know if you need any more help.
Thanks.
See you guys.
See you.
Take care.
You know, the last 2 weeks have been pretty crazy. We raced 2 weeks ago, exactly tomorrow. And we had a pretty good day so far. And going to the first feature, I was running with the pack, and I drove it in way too deep and hit someone's their back bumper with my left rear, and it just snapped the bolt with the spindle, and the spindle broke. So I had no steering and hit the wall. And that was adventurous. But then the last few weeks I've been crewing for Corey and Ryan Turner and Jamie Turner for the Burger Barn crew. And a bit for Mike Thorne in a street stock. And I've never learned so much in 2 weeks. Last weekend we were Friday Merrittville, or Friday Humberstone, Saturday South Bucks, and been in the shop throughout the week working with them. It's been unreal.